Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Truesight TV. I'm SP Revolution 5. Solo casting today. It's Delmo up against Verba, the last game that the English cast is going to be able to cover today, seeing as our next game on the schedule was canceled, and the third game we're just not going to be able to cover simply because I told my girlfriend I would go out with her tonight, so we're going out. That's just what's going to happen. Of course, hope you're enjoying the broadcast so far. Game 1 was a bit of a stomp. Verba looking very solid. They will ban out pretty standard stuff in game number 2, although Delmo will get their hands on the Shadow Fiend this time. They do get rid of the Winter Wyvern, though, and
10 seconds
get the Doom banned out as well. Slaughter and Darkseer banned on the side of Verba. Delmo trying to think of what else to pick up against the Shaker, which is Verba's first pick. They'll get the Tusk, though. Surprisingly, I believe he was banned in game number 1 instead of the Winter Wyvern, but oh well. Once again, I want to remind you to check out Truesight TV on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube as well, where we are always producing content, always loading up our VODs as well. So would really appreciate you guys checking that out. Templar Assassin will be the pickup here for Verba. So we're going to see the same mid matchup, but on the other side. Very interested to see ArchaeaDota's Templar, since his Shadow Fiend was quite good as well.
Dire team back. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Meanwhile, they will ban out the AA. I don't want to have to deal with AA. He's been picked up quite a lot this patch. In fact, let me just check and see. Yeah, 183 times with a 51% win rate. A lot of that due to countering the Alchemist, who's been picked up just about as much, even though he has a relatively low win rate. So,
Radiant team.
meanwhile, Ember Spirit getting the ban out on the side of Delmo. Definitely a hero you don't want to deal with in general, as he has a great early game, he's got a great late game. His mid game may be a little lackluster, but usually if you can keep yourself ahead in the early game, you'll be pretty good there.
5 seconds remaining.
Interestingly enough, I am taking a quick look at our major stats.
Reserve time.
The top tier heroes have been Tusk, Shadow Fiend, Doom, Darkseer, Slardar, Quintipane, Wyvern, and even Gyro sneaking his way in there, although Gyro's got a decent win percentage. What surprises me, though, is that some of these heroes are not doing so hot. For instance, Dazzle, who's been picked up 21 times, only has a 38% win rate at this point. Very surprising, especially since Slardar has been banned out. Well, at least half the games, and has a very high win rate. If you get Dazzle Slaughter, that game is pretty much great for you right off the bat.
Reserve time. Dire team pick.
Meanwhile, it will be the Bristleback who gets banned out here. Interesting choice, at the least. but a very aggressive hero that fits with Resnon Verba's playstyle, at least as we saw it last game. That doesn't mean that they'll stick with the exact same playstyle, but if it isn't broke, you might as well not even try to fix it. You might break it a little bit more. Delmo will go with the Jakiro, though, and this is a interesting pickup for sure. It's good against the Templar Assassin, and if they want to try something crazy, they can run Jakiro mid and Templar Assassin in the safe lane. Or Jakiro mid and Shadow Fiend in the safe lane, rather. To counter out the TA. It's a lane where you pretty much crush TA, no matter what.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
At least in theory, so. Has he been picked up at all recently? I am looking at the major because those are our most kind of current stats. And we've had about 50 games since yesterday, it looks like. So we actually have a pretty wide hero pool. No, Jakiro's only been banned once, never been picked. So, what's that noise? Testing. No? I can't hear it now? Okay. Sorry, my headphones are making a weird noise when I talked, which was a bit annoying, to be honest.
Remaining.
A bit frustrating.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Clockwork being the pickup for Resonant Verba once again, though. And they did very well with that. They really dominated the safe lane, and this is a hero who does very well against Jakiro. You basically can't cast a spell around him. They will go for the Dazzle, though, so this is making me think either Core Tusk or Core Jakiro. I'd like to see Core Jakiro. However, it's not necessarily
10 seconds remaining.
the perfect way to go. So
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team
looks like Queen of Pain is going to be the pickup from Resonant Verba. So I think they're anticipating the possibility that they might put Jakiro mid and just saying, okay, we'll swap in for another mid, put TA in the safe lane. We'll be fine
10 seconds
then.
remaining.
So
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 5 seconds remaining.
interesting choice by them, though. Because if it's a Tusk support, or a Tusk core and a Jakiro support, they pick a mid right now. Resonant Verba might have some problems. However, Delmo is lacking a bit of damage. Well, I mean, they wouldn't have to pick a mid. They could also pick a safe lane farming hero. They don't have a lot of setup for the Jakiro, though, and that's where it worries me. Sure, if Jakiro lands a Miracle Ice Path, that's great, but is that going to happen? Probably not. See Nightstalker get banned out, and that's a hero who could get in the way of all these heroes in the early game. Definitely a smart ban. But it'll be a
Radiant team pick.
Riki for Delmo. I mean, it's not bad. It can work. You've got a way to, excuse me, get out of cogs, get some pickoffs. Slaughter and Bounty both out of the pool. And that was a nice bait with the Bounty Hunter ban, because Nightstalker would have been a great pick if you have Bounty banned out, seeing as now your enemy can't see anything, and they have no option to get tracks off and keep things going that way. But of course, getting the Riki in the end is also decent, I guess. Still not my favorite, though. That much is for sure. Resonant Verba trying to come up with an alternative. Of course, they've still got a decent lineup against him. If I'm not mistaken, Psyblades can still hit invisible units. Same with the Queen of Pain spells, other than the Dagger, of course. The Dagger will not connect on an invisible unit, but the other will. $15 seconds to go here. Still had some time to think, so not going to be in too deep here. And they'll go for the Disruptor. Another good silence, a good way to stop an escaping Riki, possibly. And a great hero up against the Tusk in general. So, will be interesting to see. I still think that Resonant Verba have the stronger draft, but Delmo definitely have the potential to upset here. As we will be getting into the game right now. Of course, I'm SP Revolution 5. Right here on Truesight TV on Azubu. So once again, a big shout out to everybody for watching here. Really appreciate that. As well. Courier, what you doing, buddy? Okay, it's going to be ArchaeaDota this time on the Queen of Pain. Played a phenomenal Shadow Fiend last game. Desert will be on the Templar Assassin. Global is what I'm going to call him on the Earthshaker. We've got SGG on the Disruptor. And up top, it's NoFX. Once again on the Clockwork. On the other side of the river, it'll be Arl on the Dazzle. Jakiro, played by Bauer. Riki, played by Dulce. Tusk, played by Shifu. And, of course, Shadow Fiend, played by Gigi Saka. Once again, a big shout out to everybody for coming out. I'm SP Revolution 5 here on Truesight TV. And, yeah, we're going to get the game underway. Now, of course, they're probably picking up some sentries. I see at least one up on the Disruptor, yeah, and the other on the TA. To go ahead and scout things out. Oh, no. They made a mistake. And the worst part is Riki's not even here. But they definitely secure their rune. They were expecting Riki to maybe offlane, it looks like, but he is going to actually be in what appears to be a defensive tri-lane. Not that he's going to need that much defense, although with NoFX as Clockwork, they did need a lot of defense last game. So should be pretty interesting there. To actually see him going ahead, charging up the Battery Assault. Unfortunately, he doesn't have enough move speed to get in range here, and that's just going to be a bit of his mana gone. Does have a Clarity if he wants to use it, and it looks like he will be going for the Tranquil Boots as well. So meanwhile, Desert getting that refraction shield up and ready to go. We'll see him just getting a little bit of harass out here. He's actually going to be in the mid lane this time around, up against Gigi Saka. So not the exact same laning situation they were in. Dulce should be pretty okay here. He does have a point in backstab, so him being able to deny should be pretty easy as well. Unfortunately, though, he's not managing to grab many of those at the moment, as they have pushed their lane out quite a bit. And Jakiro is stacking up here. Very nicely done on his part, as he will get 2 stacks right there. Well played indeed. Yes. As it looks like he actually used Ice Path there. If that's the case, I think if you threw Ice Path at 53 seconds to the medium camp, after you hit the hard camp, you'd be able to stack both. That's a very clever play from Delmo. So, I mean, they didn't do too hot game number 1, but of course, they should do alright game number 2. Not much going on in the early game this time around. Clockwork just sitting and farming. We'll see ArchaeaDota harassing out Shifu. Glimpse back now. Oh, but it won't be enough because the snowball is blocking him out. Unfortunately, though, he'll get hit with a Thunder Strike there and basically glimpsed himself with that, although he does do a little damage and spend a little mana in the process. He has a Salve and a Mango, though, so he should be alright. So meanwhile, a haste stream picked up a talk by the Earthshaker. He'll find a double damage as well if TA wants it. Whoa, excuse me. Does have her bottle, and he is just going to protect this for her. As Disruptor actually grabs out the bounty on the bot lane. Almost dies to a raise and a right click, but just not quite enough on Shifu there. Or, excuse me, GG Saka. GBO is sitting here. Jakiro is still pretty low level. In fact, he's only level 1 right now. And this is not good at all for Jakiro. If he doesn't get level 2 soon, he's going to have some pretty big issues. So not nearly as much early aggression coming out of Resnon Verba at the moment. But they are going to probably just wait on TA to get some stuff done. They have already started stacking, something that Delmo did not manage to do last game. Dulce continuing to farm up this top lane as well.
Stopped you.
They are getting a bit of farm up on the Riki, although Fissure will come out right now. He will throw down a Sentry Ward. Unfortunately, the Cogs can't come through. They do have a hook shot if they need it. I don't think they will, though. They will use it, though, and No Effects will be able to grab first blood there. TA fighting an illusion, and Disruptor fighting a bounty. Saka getting no runes at all here, and not having a fun time in general in the mid lane. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, it looks like Tusk is doing all right, but he's not going to get very much farm at all. In fact, still doesn't have boots 6 minutes in. Did go for the bottle, though. I like the bottle on offlane heroes, but only if you're really doing well, and the Courier was in a little bit of trouble there. They will have a boost to get it back home in 4 or 5 seconds. Which they should be. What is with these teams not boosting the Courier back to base and their bottle crowing? More like bottle slowing, am I right? So they will actually salve up the Shadow Fiend here. Jakiro now level 2. Not really getting much though. Delmo at least has some stacks to fall back on if things go pretty badly. They're going to wait till Shadow Fiend, I think, has a soul cap, and then he'll move into the jungle briefly. Jakiro may take over this lane to get some XP, and that wouldn't be a terrible spot for him. Excuse me. Especially considering his ability to harass out TA. In fact, if he could just get one big liquid fire hit, he'd probably do a whole lot. Dazzle is picking up some observers for up top. He's got his treads at least, as well as about 1,000 gold. Probably going to be going straight for that defusal. I believe since it's a separate instance of damage, it would burn through refraction. But GG Sokka is in a lot of trouble. In fact, dead now, as he will lose 15 souls there. Believe he got most of that stack, which is great. But, well, on the bright side, you can say Resonant Verba, even though they have this ward in the jungle, they are going to not know that there's a stack here as well as a stack over here. Unless they scout it out with the Clockwork Rocket, in which case they'll definitely know, and they'll send TA over there to take care of that very quickly. So, Resonant Verba getting a good start here. Nice shards out on the Bounty Rune, as Shifu is going to grab it anyway. TA wanting to go in here. ArchaeaDota is coming in as well. There's a punch coming out, a Quap ult as well. He'll dodge it, as GBL will probably grab the kill here. Does have a fissure and will be able to grab it there. Very nicely done. So a third kill for Resonant Verba. Delmo once again falling behind. I think I got the teams mixed up for a second there and said, this time Delmo's in the behind and not in the lead, but not so much the case, it turns out. Well, looks like Dazzle has finally gotten himself some sentries here, so hopefully going to de-ward the Radiant team, who have sentries everywhere in this jungle. In fact, they're spotting out all these stacks right now. As well, Riki actually finding the Queen of Pain and the Disruptor on the bot lane. That's a double kill for the Riki. Very unexpected, very nice though, for him indeed.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Death's bounty.
So meanwhile, Bounty Rune going over to Riki. Up top, it looks like Dazzle got killed. Tusk is going to come in and look for the return kill. Now, there's no spells up for Clockwork. GBL will stun him up here, and he's going to be on the retreat instantly. No effects, able to salve up and use a bottle charger to get back to full health and mana pretty much. Or close enough, anyway. Not that he even really needed it. His Tranquils would have kept him alive in the end.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This Clockwork does pick up the urn. Looks like the exact same item build. I wouldn't be too surprised at all to see the Blade Mail coming next. Although he hasn't gotten nearly as much in the early game here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, Shadowfiend just getting his souls back up. He's got 1,700 gold, so could be looking to go for something. Meanwhile, though, the bot tower getting taken down by Queen of Pain. Mid tower is under fire by Desert, who, well, will be able to take it down once he can get in there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Very nice farm by him, by the way.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Investing a lot of gold in protecting this Riki's lane when eventually Riki's going to move out of it, and
Dire's middle tower has
that
fallen.
can be a problem, especially when you miss the wards by literally an inch, and they're going to instantly ping him out here. So they know where he is. In fact, do they have dust? No, unfortunately, but they pretty much know he's right on the Templar Assassin right now. There's almost no way he isn't. As they throw down a sentry, they will get the hook shot in. Dust as well is here, and that should secure them the kill. Although Dolce does manage to get out the Quapple will actually secure it, as well as Clockwork getting something else. Shakira will disconnect. And we're going to have a bit of an awkward pause here, but there are 2 heroes dead now. For Delmo, GG Saka does have all those abilities up except for 2 of the raises, so really just half. Excuse me. We should be ready to go pretty soon here. Shadowfiend has picked up an item. It is going to be that Sange for him. Looks like they are going to retreat right now. Definitely need to, but they will get the glimpse off. And they don't even have the static storm, but won't even get to use it. As Sako goes down, that's going to be ArchaeaDota with a double kill. Bauer now next on the chopping block, and I think he's about to get chopped. As Shaker comes in, that's a triple kill for ArchaeaDota. For the 2nd time today, keep in mind. He can begin working on a Ags, whatever he wants at this point.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Out the top tower. Took a little smidge of damage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But only a smidge. No more. Now TA actually getting caught out briefly here. Does have her Deso complete. Can she survive here? She's not going to get punched in time. And they actually will be able to let her live. No effects there with the cogs to back off the Riki. And now they know he's here. They dust him up. But do they have the follow-up? ArchaeaDota coming on in. They do see her for a second. As the hook shot comes in onto Riki. Riki going to try to get out. Shifu in a lot of trouble. Will end up going down as ArchaeaDota finds the kill. Dulce in a bit of a deep spot. Won't be able to go in here. Even though they do have a sentry down. He knows he's safe, but Dust should be coming off cooldown pretty soon. Well, if they had another Dust. Looks like they've used all of it right now. 10-2 though, as Reznov Verba get a pretty commanding lead once again. And they'll begin sieging here.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
As NoFX does rotate up.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And Desert manages to take out the Riki there. Very nicely done. I mean, for Delmo to come back, they're going to need a miracle team fight. Now that there's a gym up on Quap, things are looking pretty grim. In fact, Quap is even getting a drum, just saying, let's put the nail in the coffin here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
TA with the Deso, they should be able to take this Roche very easily. In fact, Shaker is closing in on the Blink Dagger. After they take this Roche, he should have almost enough for it. Needs about 500 total, though. Now, Delmo is smoked up. They know this is going on. They're going to send the Sigil. And of course, they're not going to waste time killing this Sigil. Ice Bath comes out, only grabs the TA, though. As a big kinetic storm comes down, GG Sokka going to get caught out here. They do get the Grave off. ArchaeaDota on a mega kill streak here. As Dulce will fight him. They're going to take down the Shadow Fiend. Riki next to fall. It looks like just barely enough. As none of these heroes have buyback, and they will have a full 5-man wipe. This is a free Roshan. At this point, it is completely uncontested. And Delmo, they gave it what they had, but they did not have enough. Surprisingly enough, Riki bought out most of his defusal. Didn't bring any of it to the fight. I'm not sure if he brought it out before or after this fight, but... (16-2) now. As Reston Verba up against Delmo. Reston Verba looking very good, though.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They still have the Aegis to fall back on if anything goes wrong. Not that they can even lose the TA, really. Desert's playing exceptionally on the Templar, and they'll keep healing her up just in case. In fact, they've got Delmo so scared. Delmo are inside their own base, with the exception of the Shadow Fiend, who just had to get some souls. I mean, otherwise, don't do much damage. Is sitting 150 gold from the Sanjin Yasha, but if we take a quick look at net worth, we will see him about 2k gold behind the Templar.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
SGG just playing a little bit there as he fakes the deny on the DD rune that TA will eventually pick up. They're going to just rotate top lane and take out the tier 1 and tier 2s. And then basically see what they can do from there.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You know, they're just going to try to split push on the mid lane, looks like. But there'll be TP rotations back. They want to use this Aegis if they can. I'm not even sure they'll get the chance, to be honest here. As NoFX jumps on in, he's taken a lot of damage. They will grave up the Shadow Fiend, but who's brought in with the Snowball? He's trying to get the ulti off. He's silenced up now. He'll end up getting the Death Requiem to the whole team there. Riki does get a pick off, however, but he'll lose his life in the process, only grabbing a support, and they'll lose 2 more on the back end of this. In fact, the only hero remaining is the Dazzle, who's going to try to TP now, but Queen of Pain's here. Can't quite do enough damage. Actually got a Shadow Blade on Queen of Pain, which I'll admit is quite nice to have up against a Riki, because Riki does not want to buy a gem, and you can use it as a just form of escape. Like, oh, you smoke cloud? I'm just going to use Shadow Blade and walk away.
Bottom tower is under attack.
What are you going to do? Buy sentries? No, you're 2 item dependent.
Boom, there it goes.
Riki, however, will pick up that Diffusal Blade
Dire's
now.
middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower.
It almost seems too little too late, though, as they do lose the mid tower. The Snowball coming in now, but it's onto the Shaker, and it won't quite connect. Shifu in a bit of trouble here. He does make it back up the cliff, but they've already lost the tier 3 tower and are in quite a bit of danger of losing the Rex now. They will spot out a sentry over here with that gem. gaining map control. As you can see, the dire side of the map, you only can really see this area other than the lanes and the base, of course. They could see Quap there for a second as she went to D-Ward. And they're looking to pick her off. In fact, she doesn't have a blink available, but she'll Shadow Blade away. And they have no detection, I believe. Yeah, no detection at all. So, she will get away pretty much for free there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, it's not for free if it costs you 3,000 gold, but you know what I mean. As meanwhile, ArchaeaDota does find Tusk over here. As soon as I take my eyes off the guy, of course. Arley is going to get the grave off now.
Radiant's middle tower has
Really make it out, though. It doesn't look like it is. Clockwork is now unstoppable.
Your trap. Do it with flair.
And ArchaeaDota will get the ulti off here. Sokka in a little bit of trouble, but he will end up dying in the end. The double damage rune just too strong. And even if he had killed off Queen of Pain with that Death Requiem, it wouldn't have been quite enough. And they're just going to call GG. Game number 2, ending about as quickly as game number 1. And that's going to be it for the English broadcast of the TTesports South American Championship today. Queen of Pain even buying a Blink Dagger. Oh, classic Peru. Even though I believe this team is not from Peru. My apologies on the mixed-up nationality there. Of course, if you guys enjoyed the cast, make sure you check out SP Revolution 5 on Twitch and Twitter, SP Revolution 5 Dota on Facebook, as well as my casting studio, Truesight TV, on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, etc. We'll be back tomorrow with more of the TT Esports Championship. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great afternoon.